the business that pays you. Yeah. Our people walk in power, we gon' blow up. No fear, no doubt, we gon' show up. Set your boundaries, shine bright, no fright. Unapologetic, we fight for what's right. Family keeper, that's a state of mind. Power protection all by design. Family keeper, we rise, we shine. Power protection all by design. Mind the business that pays you.
Hey, welcome back, Mindsetters. You are tuned into Mind the Business That Pays You podcast, and I'm your host, Monique Harrell, CEO of Singleton Builders.
And I am Joma Bell Beecham, CEO of CRJ Squeaky Clean.
And I'm Rochelle V. Gray of the Power Elite Network and the Genius Grid.
Well, all right. Hey, ladies. How are you?
Good. It's Thursday.
Good.
Almost
I'm
the
just
weekend.
telling you.
Absolutely.
Woo.
We have a great show lined up, a great guest. Our guest today is Cedric Crawley, a.k.a. Chef Ced. He's from the boardroom, from the kitchen to the boardroom. He's showing you how to get into the restaurant business and his backstory of how he became Chef Ced. So, I'm excited about our guest. What about you, ladies?
I am. Cooking, so I'm excited.
And pizza. I love me some pizza.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like and subscribe our YouTube channel. The link is in the comments. It's at Biz That Pays, but like I said, you could go to the comments. Follow us on Facebook, Mind the Business That Pays You. Also IG at Biz That Pays. And you can go to our website, Biz That Pays. So make sure you follow us. Today, we're going to start off with our CEO check-in. And my CEO check-in today, let me get my spectacles. Hold on. My CEO check-in today is sometimes falling behind can get you ahead, believe it or not. Mindsetters, we're going to talk for a minute. Nobody plans to fall behind. Nobody wakes up and say, today I'm going to miss my deadline. I'm going to lose momentum. I'm going to feel overwhelmed. But falling behind happens to entrepreneurs, CEOs, parents, teachers, creators, builders, everybody. Even the most disciplined people, we sometimes fall behind. But don't look at that as the enemy all the time. Here's the truth about falling behind from my experience and what I find. Because sometimes I set all the strategies and goals that I think is going to get me ahead. And I don't know what happens sometimes, but I still fall behind. And I'm very organized. So here's the truth about it. Falling behind doesn't always mean you're falling. Sometimes your life just needs to be redirected. Sometimes you need to reposition. You might need to change your goals. There are moments in your life when you get slowed down, and we wonder why. We think we're being punished. We think it's our fault, but it's not always our fault. This may be some reasons. Maybe sometimes we're moving too fast without clarity. That's one reason that God may slow you down. You were busy but not aligned. You were being productive but not profitable. And when you're not being profitable, you have to slow down and try to revamp whatever it is that you're doing. You may be available but not intentional. So all these things right here can slow you down. But that does not mean that you're falling behind or you're forced to stop and not do this and this is not what God had for you. That may not be the reasons. Ask yourself, why was I rushing? Or ask yourself, what was I avoiding? What systems are missing? What boundaries were being ignored? Sit down and start talking to yourself and ask yourself what's going on. Sometimes it's just you sitting down, slowing down, revamping, falling back, and just trying to figure it out. Sometimes falling behind exposes what was never sustainable in the first place. Sometimes it's maybe the timing. It could be what you're going through in life. Life happens, things change, we just have to revamp. But momentum without structure leads to burnout. And anybody that's an entrepreneur know, burnout is serious in this game because we always on the move. Momentum without strategy leads to confusion. When you start questioning yourself, I don't know what's going on, that's what happens when you start losing momentum as a CEO. A momentum without purpose leads to regret. Sometimes we say, well, why did we do this? Maybe we should have waited, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it's just you need to revamp, and when you fall behind, you gain valuable perspective. So now that you have perspective again, now you sit down and you say, okay, let's start over again and see what really matters. Tighten up your priorities. Sometimes you stop chasing and start choosing wisely. It doesn't mean you're messing up. It just means you might have to recreate. Sometimes falling behind humbles you enough to ask for help. I know someone like me, I do not like to ask for help. But asking for help does not mean you're weak. It's really a sign of wisdom that you're saying to someone, listen, this is a lot. I feel overwhelmed. There's a lot going on. Can somebody come in and give me a hand? You're not asking for them to do the job for you. You're just asking for somebody to just align with your vision and help you out. Don't confuse a pause with a loss. And that's a lesson that I had to learn. Just because you have to pause does not mean you lost. You just revamping, you falling back, you getting in perspective again. Use your setback to reassess and realign. You could come back ahead mentally, strategically, financially, and emotionally when you fall back sometime and take a pause. So, with all that being said, I'm saying if you're behind right now, don't panic. Just pay attention to the signs and reassess. Because what looks like you falling behind really in life sometimes is helping you move forward. So I always say a setback is a setup for a stronger comeback. That's my thing, because sometimes my plans don't always work and it seems like I'm losing when really I'm winning. I just have to reassess. So thank you for that, CEO. Check-in, everyone, for listening. I hope it taught you something. If anything else, if nothing else, in 2026, pay attention and follow your dreams still. Don't give up, but then just reevaluate your perspective on how you're moving forward with things. So like and subscribe us on our YouTube channel. The link should be in the comment at Biz That Pays. Also, if you're in the market to buy a new home, go to my website, singletonbuildersllc.com. If you're looking for a custom modular home, we're your company, so give us a call.
Good
That's
check-in.
my CEO check-in.
Good check-in.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. So from CRJ Squeaky Clean, my CEO check-in today is about trust. When it comes to cleaning, there's never an option for business liability insurance. Why? Because something is going to happen. Something breaks. We move things even in our own cleaning exercises. Sometimes I'll move something and it'll fall on the floor, or something will fall. Like something will happen at one point in a cleaning job. So again, liability insurance is not an option. It is protection. So keep that in mind. And how the clients begin to trust you even more is how you handle the situation. Having feedback, something broke in my house, XYZ, and you respond, I have no coverage. That's not a good response. The response should be, I have business liability insurance. Let's discuss it. We can work it out. Even if you do give that opportunity for a choice to cover it, some clients will say, it's okay. Things happen. But what we do at CRJ Squeaky Clean, we will say, I'll give you a percentage off, or I'll send the cleaner back out to, do something else that you wanted that wasn't covered. But the point to this is just think of business liability insurance as not an option. It's a must because it's protection, not just for your clients, but also your cleaners as well and your entire business.
Absolutely. That is absolutely true.
Definitely.
Because I know if a cleaning company was to break something, first of all, I would want them to be honest about the fact that they broke it.
Right.
Because most people are going to say, oh, well, that was already like that. Now, the owner may not know that the worker did it, but hopefully, like yourself, you have trustworthy workers. Your workers are always going to be honest. They're going to say what's going on. So then maybe the client's not as upset.
Right. Yep.
They like, well, I did like that, but if you're going to give me this, and that. But if you start saying, I didn't do it, and they know that it was okay before you got there,
Right.
That's where the problem
And that's
is.
again where the trust comes in.
Yes.
They want that open communication. They know things are going to happen
Right.
at some point. It's inevitable for it not to happen.
Absolutely.
They break things in their own house.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's their house, but the point is
That's true.
they understand things are
Absolutely.
going to happen. The whole, the bottom of the broom might break when you're just sweeping the floor. That has happened to me. And then,
Absolutely.
sweeping too hard sometimes. But again, just if you have a cleaning business or any business, if you don't have liability insurance, just think about it, right? It's called protection. That's
Absolutely.
my CEO check-in for
Oh,
today.
your website so they'll know how to reach you.
The website is www.crjsqueakyclean.com. There's actually 2 websites. Deciding which one I really want to go with, but the traffic will all lead to one place. There is also the Google reviews now available, as I'm finally approved for Google.
Well, okay.
So
okay.
reviews can be put on there, and again, just stay tuned. More to come.
All right. All right. We
Those-
batting a
they're both-
1,000.
Yes.
Both of those are great check-ins because a lot of people don't have liability insurance. And just being able to say with a surety, hey, I have liability insurance, let's discuss it. So you don't lose a customer and you don't lose your business.
Absolutely.
All right, family, my CEO check-in. Whew. One thing I'm seeing right now in entrepreneurship is a shift. People are realizing that it's not about doing more, posting more, or hustling harder, but it's about building systems that can hold your vision. So right now, successful entrepreneurs are creating what I call a personal and a business operating system. One central place where your vision is, your goals, your projects, your content, your finances and ideas, actually, they live there and they work together. Because carrying everything in your head will wear you out. And a lot of people don't write things down or have a place where they can go to just drop those things off. But a system, how Ikea say, will set you free.
Yeah, right. Sure will.
So this is something I had to step into myself while building the Genius Grid and the Paralead Network. I'm not just building programs. We're building movements. We're building structure that will allow the work to grow without chaos. And that's CEO work. That's leadership.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's what I've learned. When you don't have systems, everything feels urgent. When you do have systems, everything becomes intentional. And this isn't just for entrepreneurs or business people. This is life.
Yeah.
This is the same thing, and I want our students to learn early how to organize your ideas, how to manage your time, how to track your goals, how to turn creativity into execution. Genius without structure gets stuck, but genius with systems multiplies. So I'm going to break this down. It's a 4-part CEO operating system. First is vision. A lot of people don't know what they're building and why does it matter? And if you don't define this, everything else pulls you in different directions. Systems. How does this run without stress? That's what I'm trying to get to. This includes our calendars, and Jim is really good with that. Workflows, content plans, financial tracking, things at work, even when you're tired. 3, skills. What do I need to learn next? Because sometimes people don't continue to learn. And what do I need to teach others? Growth requires content sharpening. And last, support. Who or what supports this vision? Tools, people, community. Nobody builds by themselves.
Right.
So this is what it's all about. Teaching yourself that success isn't accidental. It's structured, it's learned, and that makes it repeatable. So Lashia Wright has a son. She was on our show, and he creates music beautifully. And he created a song fundraiser for us called Go Be Great.
Oh, nice.
And I said, it's an amazing song. It could really be an anthem for youth, especially males, because he knows I do choirs. He knows I have the Genius Grid, Paralead Male. He knows I coach. He knows that also that I always say, go be great.
Right.
And then I'm creating a book called Level Up that's going to transition middle schoolers and high schoolers. But he did all that research on his own.
Wow.
And he did this song that we're using as a fundraiser. So I'm going to ask people to go to the Genius Grid, to my Beacon store,
Okay.
beacon.ai/Rochelle B. Gray and purchase the song Go Be Great.
Nice.
Every
Nice.
download helps us build something that lasts, not for the day, but for the future. And this money goes toward the seed money that our youth will need to build their business. So I want to thank
All
everybody for
right.
believing. I want to thank everybody for supporting. And as always, I'm going to tell you, go be great.
All right.
Wonderful.
All right. That was really a good CEO check-in. I mean, all three of us have this going on today. Hopefully, our mindsetters are paying attention and something that we
They
said
are.
is going to help you out. What is someone on? Commenting?
I actually had one. Let me pull it up. Well, when the guests come on, they want to know what is some of his favorite foods that he likes.
Okay, okay. Well, we'll be right back, Mindsetters. So stay tuned. Chef Said is here, and he will be live and answering questions that you put in the comment, as well as all the questions that we have for him. We'll be right back.
Woke up this morning, out of my bed. I looked around, this is what I said. Thank you, Lord, for another day. All the blessings just in my way. I could have been dead, sleeping in my grave. But you told that, get back and get hey, ooh-wee, another blessing. Ooh-wee, another blessing. Ooh-wee, another blessing. Ooh-wee, another blessing.
Hey, Mindsetters, we are back. We are back. We are back. Our special guest today is Cedric Crawley, a.k.a. Chef, Chef Said. So let's give him a proper introduction.
All right. All right. Welcome to our podcast today. We have Chef Said, also known as Cedric Crawley, sorry. He is an executive chef, entrepreneur, and with more than 25 years of hands-on experience, he builds and he's fixing and scaling food businesses. So welcome to our show.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Great. Fantastic. Wonderful. Thank you for having me, ladies.
Absolutely. How are you today?
Amazing, fantastic, and just inspired. I like to see things like this. I appreciate the opportunity and the time to be able to share a little bit of knowledge.
Well, I love the word choice that you had, all positive. So give us a little background on you. Tell us a little bit about you, where you from, what made you get started in this business.
I'm from Orange, New Jersey. Yeah, me and Ro know each other. I mean, she knew me when I was born, right?
Oh, wow.
I know her family a long time, mother, everybody, right? She knows my parents.
Wow.
But I was born in Orange, New Jersey.
New Jersey? I thought you were from Washington or something.
He lives there.
Oh, you
I
live
in Maryland,
Jersey,
Montgomery County, shout out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I work in D.C., the surrounding areas, PG County.
Okay.
But I'm originally from New Jersey.
All right, Jersey.
Before that, I moved to Atlanta. And as an entrepreneur, you want to get around, touch some different markets, see what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
There are opportunities everywhere, so you want to be able to touch that. When I was younger, even before I had kids. So originally from Orange, New Jersey. Didn't really know what I wanted to do right away. I finished high school. I went to college. Had a lot of fun out there. Got involved in a lot of activities that I really excelled at, but it was kind of negative.
Okay.
That's a good way of putting it.
And I came home and I got an opportunity to be involved in the music business, right? So that was a whole different cycle and pattern. I saw a lot of things I did like and didn't like, but it was able to give me an insight of what could and could not happen, right? Very quickly. Mm-hmm. How you can control things, and things could get out of control very quickly, right?
Okay.
So I met a young lady, um, and eventually ended up marrying her. But I always liked to cook, and back then, people like myself who believe we was, the next coming of Michael Jordan in the culinary business, right?
Okay.
Why should I go to school? Why go get education? I don't need it, right? I'm self-taught, I'm self-made, I'm this guy, right? She uh not pushed, but persuaded me to attend culinary school, right? Which was one of the best choices that I think I made because I was able to get professional
Right.
application to how to work with food. Now, granted, I worked at Friendlies, Hula Hands, Five Guys.
Right.
Fridays, a couple of different places and seeing things. But for the game that I was headed into, I needed that paperwork
Right.
for the Europeans to be able to take me seriously. Let's put it like
Absolutely.
that, right? Because a lot of people could talk the game, but unless you paid the hours, done the detail and the discipline, they really don't want to hear it. So I was able to get that under my belt. And things just start taking off from there. I was able to do a quick stint on Food Network
Oh,
on
tell
a
us about
show that
that.
was for bakers, right?
Okay.
For me, I'd rather take the chance than not, because
Right.
what is it gonna hurt, right?
Absolutely.
Especially from where I'm from, we were doing crazy things just to have fun. So now I had a chance to do something positive. Why not take that road,
Right.
right?
Right.
So they cast me, they called me, and I was really nervous. Like it's one of the first times I remember I was nervous. I called my dad, bro, and I was like, I had this opportunity to be on Food Network, but I don't know. He said, let me put it to you like this. You could go to work or you could go be on TV.
I know
Which
that's
one
right.
sounds better? I said, you know what?
One sentence.
Yeah.
I know what I'm going to go do, right? So
Right.
did that. Long story short, opened up my career. Chef Said was born, and I started going into people's homes to teach them how to cook, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I probably went into maybe 150 homes back then, and that was only like year one or two.
Really.
I met people from A to Z, all type of walks of life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
And it was incredible because I'm like, back then it was not really a lot of private chefs, you
Right.
know, that was like a new thing, right? You got a chef coming to your home and curate this fantastic experience and da 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 da. I mean, I've got stories about these people that have money that really like to enjoy themselves, right? So coming out of that, I was realizing that it was more than just about food, right? It was about building a brand and learning how to market yourself. So one of the first things I learned from Chef Said was I pigeonholed myself, right? I named a business because, I'm that guy, right?
Right.
But everybody wanted me. Everybody wanted Chef Said. So I couldn't
Oh.
scale it.
Right.
I couldn't
Right.
send, a team here, a team there
Right.
because everybody wanted
Wanted
me.
you.
They just didn't
Mm-hmm.
want me to make an appearance. They wanted me to come do
Right.
what I do.
The whole
Maybe if
thing.
you ladies are fortunate, you could be able to experience that one day. But so I learned then, like,
Right.
oh, you know what? It has to be broader than just what I
You.
can introduce, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that was one of my first real hard lessons in building a business or a food business. So I thought. Fast forward to today, I've had the opportunity to work with some fantastic people in all facets of the game: equipment, building procurement, manufacturing, um, doing a lot of consulting. And you never think it until you start to get there that the pieces of the puzzle from the box are all going to fit together to make this perfect picture, right?
Right.
And I mean, just some of the, I built a company called Black Sicilian Pizza Company, which is one of my passions, right?
Okay.
And I was teaching at Georgetown University, running the food program down there as executive chef, which was another story. Like, how did I get to Georgetown, right?
Right. We was
Um,
gonna ask you.
uh, it, it, when you show up, do the work, and know how to work with people and be
Mm-hmm.
adaptable,
Mm-hmm.
people will use your name and they'll bring them up in those circles. And then they'll
Absolutely.
give you a call and they'll want to speak with you. So I learned at an early age, and Ro can attest to this, at church, how to be likable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not just one-sided. There are, various personalities that you have to learn how to get along with.
Absolutely.
And that's something I carry with me even to this day.
Right.
So working at Georgetown, got an opportunity to go work for a oven company that produced pizza ovens. But inside the company, they had something called Pizza University. I knew nothing about pizza. This is what
Nothing.
led me to it because I'm like, well, I've done a lot of things, with Thomas Keller, Martha Stewart, Guy Fieri, Wolfgang Puck. We've done those things, right? I
Okay.
never did anything pizza. I was like, so this is a new thing to add onto my resume. Little did I know that these Italians would adopt me and treat me like one of their own.
Wow.
Very different from the food business, right?
Mm.
I mean, it's all food, but French cuisine.
Mm-hmm.
Chefs will not teach you everything they know because they're scared that you could surpass them, right? They don't want to
Mm-hmm.
grow leaders.
Right.
In the
Right.
pizza business, they want to see you past them.
Wow.
They're
Wow.
That's
they're
different.
that bold with it. And I've got, 13 World Guinness Book, champions that are my friends in
Really
the pizza business.
awesome.
And I named it Black Sicilian because I was really one of the only Black guys doing it very well at a high level, not just,
Wow.
taking a frozen dough. And I'm a pizza snob, I will say it first. So if you see me turn my nose up, please forgive me. But not just taking a frozen dough and da da da. It's a lot more than that. So um grabbed the name, made sure that it cleared checks and balances with the Italian community because I don't want to be offensive to anyone. And it did. And just started to jump out there and build what I had always been thinking about doing, starting on a small scale, which we call ghost kitchens, right?
Okay.
Um, I don't believe in brick and mortar until somebody gives me the money to do brick and mortar, right? I'm
Okay.
not going to nickel and dime and have to pay rent, labor, da da da, just to
Right.
stay in business when I
Right.
can use an existing facility that has maybe
Absolutely.
3 or 4 other vendors in it, and we share a space.
Oh yeah.
And now I've got the perfect platforms to do it via Uber Eats, DoorDash, you name it, right? This is
Right.
a new world we're living in when it comes to the
Mm-hmm.
food vehicle, right? It's not. It used to be food trucks. That
Right.
was the big thing. Those are starting to die, right? Because there's too much physical labor, man hours, and weather conditions you got to deal with. If it's raining,
Mm-hmm.
I might get 2 or 3 people to come to my food truck. But
Right.
with Uber Eats and DoorDash, I'm unlimited, right?
Absolutely.
We're the dying breed in the food business, for lack of a better term. Our kids
Mm-hmm.
are the ones that push the button and it comes to the door because they're
Right.
not looking for that
Right.
engagement like we do when we go out, right? We like to
Right.
go out and have a drink. So I'm like,
Right.
yeah, we get it. But those times are gone.
Right.
They like to sit in and get on their phone and have the food come to them and they're
Right.
watching Netflix or whatever. So I wanted to take advantage of that. So with that, I opened myself up just to be a food entrepreneur, a businessman, and someone that just really likes to build systems, right?
Mm.
I learned probably 10, 15 years ago, it's not about necessarily the cooking. You can have average food and still make $1 million in this business if you put together the right system.
Okay.
So any
Okay.
people that I talk to now, whether it be youth, older guys, um, they ask me how to get started. Now, because of what we have in place as far as teaching kitchens and learning experiences. I wouldn't necessarily recommend culinary school now
Oh,
because that's going to be a debt that you're going to take up
okay.
before you get into your business. Because now kitchens are much different.
Oh,
Kitchens will teach you, they're open. It's not like the dungeons when I grew up with where you didn't get to see the chefs cook, right?
right,
Everything was in the back of the house.
right,
It was a mystery. Now you walk into a restaurant, you see
right.
these guys with the tweezers and they're performing
Yeah,
surgery and dee, you know. And these guys will teach you the game if you go and produce or perform what we call a stage, right? So that's free learning. Kind of like YouTube when you have to fix your drain or some plumbing, right? I could just
right,
click, click, click.
right.
You know, I don't have to go buy the fix it book or pay a plumber necessarily if I can, you know,
Correct.
really kind of absorb it. So we have a fantastic opportunity in front of us to learn, build brands, and scale.
Hmm.
And that's probably what I've been doing for the last 4 or 5 years. And Black Sicilian was the first
Wow.
that was successfully launched. And we learned a lot of what we like and don't like. And I will say that it is about not always being able for, well, let me just say it simply. It's good to run out of food
Oh,
Really?
because,
really?
yes, and I'll say
Oh,
this
what?
is why, because
Okay.
McDonald's doesn't run out of food, right? But if they do, it's a problem because they're so big.
Hmm.
But when you're small and you do it, people say, well, why did they sell 75 pizzas today in 2 hours? It must be good. They're coming back tomorrow.
Oh, I
That's
get
been
it.
proven from us.
Okay.
You know, we
Okay.
have a 4.9 Google rating on our reviews.
Wow, that's excellent.
And I was always worried about, okay, do we have enough? I sell maybe 50 pies a day because of the process we use, a 3-day fermentation process, 3-day or better. And these are unique pies, you know,
Wow.
gourmet. So we got the Louis Vuitton, like, you know, we did it real high end. We just didn't want to do, you know,
Okay.
pepperoni and cheese. And, you know, I kind of just, when the good thing about being an entrepreneur and having a business is you can create what you want.
That's the
That's
truth.
true.
And as long as you know how to sell it and market it, it's going to work. So that's what I was able to do. Um, and I enjoy it. We have another brand that will be rolling out probably in March or April. We're still thinking about how to do it.
Okay.
So it's correct. But you know, that's my story in a nutshell. And I just enjoy being here. You know, hopefully I didn't talk too much and you
No,
guys have some
no.
questions for me.
No,
No,
listen.
because you went right into one of my questions, which was a lot of people can cook, but not everyone can build a brand. But you took us straight through
Yeah.
how to do that. And you also, and my other part of that question was, well, what was the first business skills you had to learn outside? And you talked about that too. But I would ask you, what's one mistake you made early on as a food entrepreneur that you taught you a lesson that you still use today?
Naming my first business, chef said, and
Right.
pigeonholing
Pigeonhole
myself
yourself. And I
and
thought about
just
that too. I
being
was like, wow.
limited to just me showing up.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I created Black Sicilian Pizza Company, um, it's not just about me anymore,
Right.
right? I'm
Right.
not the Black Sicilian. I'm
Right.
just a worker, right?
Right.
Right.
This is a group, this is a company.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we've done that for a couple of our different brands. And you know, you put your passion behind it. There, I don't believe in working like, you know, this 9 to 5. It's
Right.
always work. I'm always working,
Right.
whether
Oh
I'm
gosh.
learning, whether I'm
Yes.
Yes.
developing,
Right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
whether I'm
I agree.
teaching, you know, absorbing. Even if I'm, you know, at a movie chilling, I'm still learning on like, oh, you know what, this is, I like how they did this
Yeah.
because I'm incorporated into what I do, right? If
Mm-hmm.
that's
Right.
what you're building. And I'm not necessarily building this for my existence. I'm
Hmm.
enjoying it. You know, it's
Right.
taking care of financials, but it's something I want to pass on to the kids and
Yes.
they can do what they want with it, whether they
And I can't
sell it
wait to
or
talk to you about that.
they can continue to run it or, you know, whatever they want to do. But that's what it is for me. You know, it's about being bigger than just, okay, you know, a lot of my relatives had stores and things while we were growing up, and
Mm-hmm.
they closed down because Black people aren't taught how to scale,
Right.
right? How to
True.
grow
It's
a
true.
business.
It's true.
They have a business, but it's more of a hobby because they're taking
Right.
care of so many things:
Right.
labor,
Right.
Absolutely.
rent, repairs,
Right.
Everything.
purchasing all the goods,
Right.
the
Mm-hmm.
accounting,
Yep.
Right.
and it's only because we haven't been trained on how to properly create the systems
Mm-hmm.
to manage those processes and then go start the next joint and venture. And I was able
Absolutely.
to see firsthand one of my mentors, Tony Gimignani. He has a couple of companies, one called Slice House in Vegas,
Mm-hmm.
Couples. He's has everything. He's on
Mm.
yard cruises and stadiums. And
Mm-hmm.
it's funny because he would come do classes in Maryland, and he's there at 5 a.m.
Mm.
He doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to do
Right.
anything. So
Mm-hmm.
it's never a point saying, you know what, I'm good, I made it.
Right. Right. Right.
Because this is our retirement, right? This is what we spent, our 30s and 40s building so
Mm-hmm.
we could see it. Then you have to work hard all the time. I do because it's my sport. I
Right.
just
Mm.
enjoy it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I'll probably slow down, once one of my shoulders gives
Right.
out
Right.
because I turn pizzas all the time and I'm, picking up
Yeah.
boxes. But other than that, but I think you had a question for me, bro. I don't want to keep going.
So the other thing was, well, when you said it, because my CEO check-in was about
It
systems.
sure
And
was,
as an
Rochelle.
established entrepreneur, you're showing us, again, that is how you scale.
That's right.
Because when I did my SWOT analysis for what I'm creating with the grid, that was one of the things, even when coaching, one of the threats against you is just you.
Yeah.
You got to get people to understand that when I train anybody, you do get me. You get them because
Right.
you get the systems.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have me because I'm the visionary. I'm the
Right.
CEO. I'm not the coach anymore. I'm not the teacher. I'm not the tutor.
Absolutely.
You get them, but when you get them because the systems I put together are so good and they're so well trained, you're going to be okay. And you got to really be able to convince people of that because they will want you. Like you say, you
they
can pitch your
will.
own. And I took that very seriously. And hearing you say that, that's a reminder to our entrepreneurs. That's how you scale.
Absolutely.
I'm
And hearing you
not gonna always
say,
be here.
yeah, hearing you say
So
how you work hard all the time because you love doing it. Like I love being a builder and a developer. Julma loves doing her craft and what she do. Rochelle loves hers. So when you love it, it's not really a job. It's a
It's
career.
not.
And it's something that you go to and you just working on without even realizing, like you said, you're working on it. You're somewhere
It's
out and you like,
awesome.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. This, everything you see reminds you of how to scale your own business when you love doing it.
Definitely. And
So
I
I'm gonna
don't
jump in
even
just
know.
before the ladies come in because we have a group called Mindsetters, the people that follow us,
Mhm.
and one of them was asking, "What is your favorite food?"
Oh,
You asking me that?
yeah.
Yes, they want to know what your favorite foods are,
Oh,
especially.
um, interesting enough. I was in Hawaii a couple years ago, and I love seafood. Right, that's
Me
just my
too.
go-to. Crab, shrimp, fish. It's just so versatile. You can do whatever with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do an excellent potato crusted salmon, right? But anyway, a
Oh,
rockfish
salmon.
actually. But
Okay, potato
Oh.
it helped me build one of my companies called Kingfish, right?
Oh,
Oh,
And this was a complete pescatarian company.
okay.
No hamburger, chicken, pescatarian only.
Okay.
And we did exotic seafood,
Mm.
jalapeno glazed salmon, da 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 da. And sometimes you build something and it works and then it goes away, right?
Yes.
But one of my favorite groups, I'm gonna date myself here, Wu-Tang, right?
We all love Wu Tang.
One of
irrelevant.
their first hit records was Cream. And the RZA said this is like
Cream.
one of the first records we ever did. It's a platinum record now. But they used it. I have a new concept, not new, but a concept rolling out the one I was saying in March that I probably created definitely before Black Sicilian Pizza Company, but I didn't know where to place it
Right.
in this gamut, right? Like you're learning and you get these tools and then it comes back up like, oh, you know what, this might fit here. Like I
Right.
said, the jigsaw puzzle in the box, you finally figure out where that piece goes, right?
Right.
So you keep everything that you build and develop. You know, I don't throw anything away.
Right.
And another thing that I would love to tell entrepreneurs, especially us, is to use the tools we have today, meaning AI, right?
Yeah.
Some people shy away from it because they don't understand that it's a platform that will answer the questions that I've had for years about
Sure
how to
is.
do things the right way.
Mhm.
Had I been 13, 14 with a system like AI, I'd probably be sitting next to Elon Musk right
I
now,
know
like,
that's
hey,
right.
you want the
Yeah.
chicken or the steak? You know,
Absolutely.
because we
That's-
we we have a, a grand amount of passion, um, a never dying spirit, but we don't always have the know-how. And when we look back for the support, it's not there because they
Right.
don't know how,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
So me and my kids talk about this all the time. Dad, why you? I was like, girls, I want to show you something. I just built a whole logistics plan in chat on everything that I've been thinking for the past year for this business. And it gave it to me in
Like 2
38
minutes.
2 minutes.
seconds.
Yeah, right.
Mhm. Yeah, it's
Why
true.
would I
Sure did.
fight
It's
that?
true.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
And why would I say no, I'm not going to use it? Am I silly?
Right.
Am I conning myself? You
Right.
know. Um, but use it as a guide
Right.
to help you
Right.
perform the works you need versus saying,
Absolutely.
oh, let me go to the library and look through, I gotta
Right.
buy this book, then
Right.
I'm gonna call such and such, she gonna talk to me. That's all good and
I
well.
don't even
But
know what a
we have
library is
systems
no more.
now that shorten that cycle and give us information that is firsthand trending. So
Absolutely.
no one ever convinced me about how to get that process started, whether it's logo development, concept creation, names, ideology, you
Yeah.
name it, right? I'll use that platform to help the wheels get turning, not
Right.
necessarily rely on it because it's never
Right.
going to be me,
Right.
Right.
but get the wheels turning to give me inspiration. Because sometimes you could talk to your friends and what do they say? Oh, no, you shouldn't do that, man. I
Yeah.
don't think
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
But thank God I
Like,
have
don't
good
ever talk to
friends.
me again. You know, just leave me alone. I need some new friends.
Right. Right.
But anyway, yes, I like to tell entrepreneurs that are starting. You know, I'm arguing with one of my guys now about the system. He's like, well, no, I don't like it. I was like, do you understand that next year you won't be around because the kids are going to use this and pass you because
Yeah.
they're
Right.
not sitting
That
there
part.
trying to figure out whether to use a house phone or a cell phone.
That's
You know,
right.
that's kind of what it's like, right?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
So I try to make sure that I put that message out there. It's not, you know, sometimes people shame you out of the right way, you know, of doing something. And, you know, in this business, we're here to win. So it's like saying Kobe was in the gym 24/7. That's why he was the best, right? Jordan was in the gym, same amount. That's why he's the best. I'm using those systems to figure out, oh, I gotta, you know, I need this HACCP plan for such and such. What? All right, cool. That's what I need to do. All right, fine. You know, so it's no longer a guessing game
Right.
and the gray area goes away. It's more factual and it gives me, you know, bullet points of saying, do it like this.
Gives you
So
an outline so you're not sitting there trying to figure everything out because you always could change your outline
It's
or
true.
change your plays as you're moving along, but at
It's
least
true.
you're not just driving along like we say with no navigation. Because you could just be driving and get lost, but for what? When you could just put in your navigation now.
Right.
And it'll help you get there, maybe not faster sometimes, because it take me the long route, but sometimes maybe God wanted me to go that route to get to where I'm getting. So
It's
that's
true.
what I was saying earlier, you know, on my CEO check-in as well. So I had a question. So you say you do restaurant consultings or consultings for different businesses and stuff for the restaurants, right? So one of my questions would be, what's the first thing when you go in to consult like a restaurant business that you would discuss with them? Is it food, finance, or is it leadership? Like, how do you set them up in the proper
You take an
direction?
assessment on what their overall objective is, right?
Okay.
Because usually owners want to go into the future, they just don't know how. They look at other places and say, well, and this is just an example.
Right.
Popeyes might look at KFC and say, well, they doing the mashed potato bowl. That's a great idea. We want to do something like that, but we don't know where to start, right?
Okay.
So I do an assessment on, and it's a questionnaire that they fill out, kind of giving me a guide to where to start or suggestions to make in their business. And it's usually covering all of those points, right?
Okay.
Leadership, what they need to be doing with their teams, how they need to hold them accountable, and new processes for teaching, right?
Okay.
One of the pizzerias that I consulted named Paisanos, um, they were still doing what we call manual teachings, right? One assistant manager or manager would go to each store and show them how to make this pizza or what. And if you got 50 stores, that's a lot of traveling,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
there's gonna be things that are inconsistent. One day I might feel good, one day I might not. One day I'm mad, one day I'm happy. So I set up a learning platform on YouTube for them to produce the actual units so it's consistent.
Okay.
People can go to the link, see it, watch it as many times as they like, and it's there for them, right? I learned that from a company I used to work for called Aramark when I was at Georgetown. They
Mm-hmm.
had these systems in place, right, where we would watch videos of training. I thought it was amazing. I'm like, okay, I'm not waiting for, John and Henry to come show me how to do it.
Right.
We've got these teaching methods that's, systematic, consistent, and it'll answer all the questions I have about rolling out this process.
Okay.
So I would do something like that. Menu suggestions, you know, where does it start? Most owners or operators of businesses have 38 ingredients in their store, right? And they're using 28 of them for different recipes. And it's
Okay.
like, you know what? Let's repurpose some of these ingredients so it can be used here, whether it's under a different name or a different technique, chopping,
Okay.
braising, frying, you name it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they were using eggs for their dough, which in the Italian community is a no.
Oh, okay.
But they
Okay.
were using eggs for
Ooh.
their dough just to make it a little more dense. And I mean, they could have did so many other things, but anyway.
Right.
So he's spending a week, probably like 300 plus on eggs just to bring in for dough. I'm like, dude,
Right.
you need to repurpose this.
Right.
You've already got sausage here because you use it on the pizza. You got egg. Maybe it's a breakfast sandwich you need to make or some kind of
Right.
breakfast bowl. So you open at 9:30 to capture
Right.
that business.
Right.
Mm.
That was exciting. So those are the things that we look at, when we go into operations. But I never wanted to, and I thank God for the power of observation, right? I never wanted to be the one that goes into an operation and doesn't really look like the guy or play the part. I've seen that, right? I've seen people come in, vendors and salesmen, and I'm
Okay.
like, why are you talking to me? You really are not educated about what you're selling.
Right.
It's just a
Right.
job to you.
Right. Right.
And I never wanted to do that. So before I even touch a store or accept a contract, I make sure I do all my homework first. I know all the background story before they
Okay.
give it to me.
Okay.
So I go and educate it. And then we have a conversation. And, you know, I inspire them. I put a fire under their belt, under their, a battery in their pack.
Right.
And it's like, okay, this guy gets it, and then we start building from there. But you can't just go in generically in today's world because
Right.
I got guys that's younger than me that's just waiting. Like, oh, Chef said one, but he didn't get it. It's my turn, and
Yeah.
I've seen them, and they
Oh,
hungry. You
goodness.
know what I mean?
Good
So I'm like,
grief.
yo, I gotta go get this. So I'm not
Right,
gonna eat.
right.
So you need to figure out. And like I say, with all the systems and information we have now, there's no excuse for me not to go in, and have an A+ game of conversation with these owners and operators. So that's hopefully I answered your question in there
Yes,
some.
yes, absolutely. Now I'm gonna go back for a second. You said you was on the Food Network, right?
Network.
Now, what
Yes.
were some of the requirements? Because that's really interesting. I'm sure some of our mindsetters want to know. What were some of the requirements for you to get selected to actually be on that program?
Wow, this is going back a couple of years. Um, Kind of to be fearless and just being able to be yourself on camera, right?
Right.
They cast you and they like to talk to you, one on one. Back then was a video. There was a phone call, and then there was you had to meet them in person.
Okay.
And if you can give this bravado and kind of naturalistic, like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
I'm here and I'm not playing type of attitude,
Confidence.
yeah, they take you because they need drama,
Right,
right?
right.
Now, there's one thing that I did. It was for Hell's Kitchen. They flew me to
Oh yeah.
California.
Okay.
I met with the producers. They wanted me for the show, and I struggled with this. I had the biggest problem with this.
Selected.
Oh yeah, they picked me. I could have been on
Wow.
Hell's Kitchen, but I did not do it.
Why?
And here's two of the reasons why.
Okay.
The contract, if you won, which to me I was gonna win.
Now,
I wasn't
that's what I
fooled.
love. I love that confidence. You have to have that
But
confidence.
if you won, they own a percentage of your brand for 7 years.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Wow.
And from my studying and research,
Ooh.
everybody that won that show
Ooh.
and got under that contract, their careers were destroyed,
Wow.
right?
Really?
They went to go work for Gordon Ramsay. It didn't work out. They trying to rebrand themselves. They own the right. It's like, what's
Oh,
going on, right? So I
wow.
didn't want
Yeah.
to get involved with that. I was like,
Mm.
I built Chef Said,
Right.
and I'm not having somebody take it away from me just to go be on their TV show and get yelled at, even though I'm doing something right.
Mm.
And I stand behind that decision. I
Wow.
always tell people like that was one of the hardest decisions I made because it would have been automatic stardom, right? Celebrity fan. Oh,
Right.
you were on Hell's Kitchen. One of my girls just did it. Actually, a girl that I mentored
Uh-huh.
was on the show, and she's running into her own issues. So it's not the end all be all, but I knew that I didn't want someone to own a piece of my
Right.
company
Right. For
just for
7
giving me an
years.
Wow.
opportunity, right?
Yeah.
It,
Right.
it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it to me.
Mm.
So I enjoyed the experience. I learned a lot. I had this concept that I used to say, uh, from fast food to fine dining, right?
Mm.
Then that whole gamut between that they love that. It was like, oh, we got to say that on the show. So the call words to put out there. You just got to kind of sell yourself, and I've been doing that since I've been young. I think Ro could tell you that pretty
Right.
much as her. But yeah, they just
What?
want somebody confident, can be consistent, show up, not be. I hate to say it, but some of these people that get opportunities, they go to the set drunk,
Huh?
Ooh,
What do you
and
what?
it's like,
mean?
what are you doing? Like, what's going on? This
What?
abuse, yeah,
How
that's
does that
very.
match? How does that go into the whole spill of being an
It's
entrepreneur, getting
stress. It's
stress?
stress. This in this business, there's a lot
Drunk?
of stress. There's a
Goodness.
lot of anxiety. There's a lot of unknown variables, right? And
Yeah.
that's one of the ways people deal with it is drinking and drugs, and just like any business, right? There are no real support systems in place for chefs that are running, 5 restaurants, and we call it the golden cage. Yeah, I'm making $350, 350,000, you know, a month, or every 6 month quarter. But I have no life because I got 5 restaurants I got to run.
Right.
If he calls out, I got to. It's like,
It's a
what
lot.
is going on?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Wow.
that's how they manage it, is
Wow.
with drugs and alcohol, unfortunately. So
Good
Wow.
That is
grief. That
Wow.
was an eye
horrible.
opener just now because we all were like
Mm-hmm.
listening and you said that we was like, huh?
What? Right.
Right.
That's
It was
right.
like, well,
That's
you threw me off
horrible.
with my next
Wow.
question and everything. I was like, what? Drinking what? So, I mean,
Wow.
What? Because I mean, we got access to it, right? We at the
right,
bars because we own them.
right.
It's like, yeah.
So,
That's true.
Mm.
piggybacking off of what you just said, because that wasn't on my line of questions, but so when someone gets into that career and they do find themselves into a drug or alcohol situation, like how is it dealt with within? Like how is that dealt with? I'm so thrown off by that. Like how is that dealt
If
with?
you're an owner
If they're
and
the
that
owner,
happens to you,
employee, yeah, you have
it's
5
gonna be your
businesses.
teams that's gonna bring you back up. I got a situation now where two of my guys are just they love to drink. They'll come in at their 4 o'clock shift and they'll be tipsy. They won't show up for some of their shifts,
Okay.
and we had to make a decision. They're good guys, but it's hard because you don't want to let them go because they're
Right.
going to destroy their lives even more, right? You want to
Right.
get them help.
Right.
But for this business, unless you're one of the big conglomerates like Aramark, or Darden or something like that, you don't have a lot of systems in place that support that type of thing. And, it can happen easily because you get off at 11:30, 12, you had 400 or 500 covers. Everybody's rolling to the bar to drink, and that happens consistently for, 6 weeks.
Right.
It's just an expectation. So it
Yeah.
happens very quickly in this business,
Wow.
and there's no training involved as far as how to deal with that. And, just talking about it, maybe that's something I'll implement
I was
Okay.
into
just thinking
most of
Yeah,
that.
my
because you
training
threw us off. We
programs.
all
And
were like, wait, what?
yeah, and it's
Yeah,
something
because
that
we,
helped
yeah.
me because of that situation. I'm working on a cookbook for Black Sicilian called
Nice.
25 Kilos. And we incorporated a um, alcohol-free beverage menu in there.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
that was
Nice.
nice because that is
And
on the
because of
rise
what's
or
going on,
trending in
right? Right.
restaurants actually now. So
Okay.
we're seeing that the
I
young,
like that.
Gen Z, they're like, yeah, we don't want to poison our liver,
Right.
every other night. We kind of want to do something else. So they're trending in that direction.
Well,
Nice.
that's
And
awesome. I mean, you are such an awesome guest, and the time we just got to notice that the time is running out. I
I know.
was
I
so
just said
into
that
this.
I'm
too.
I
sorry.
was
I'm
like, wait a
sorry.
minute. Oh,
No, it's
we almost,
amazing. No,
yeah,
no.
we're
Listen, we
good. I
can have
mean,
you for
thank
round two.
you. Yeah, we have one last question that we ask all of our guests. Well, our question is called the CEO checkout. So our question is, as a CEO, I'm still learning blank, and I'm still unlearning blank to lead for our mindsetters.
I'm still learning uh, how to lead by example, and I'm trying to unlearn doubt. That
Wow.
That's
makes
a good one.
That's a good
because
message for our
something that
mindsetters.
if you have an idea Monday, by Thursday you generally would have talked yourself out of it.
Yeah, that's
If you're
true.
an
I could
entrepreneur,
contest to
like
that.
I can't do it because it's gonna be on. And then I
Right,
got
right,
it's like,
right,
dog, that's not where it's at.
right.
You gotta jump and fly and be like, you know what, this is it. I gotta figure out how I'm getting down there on the way down. But unless you do that, it's just dreaming and it's just you in the drift. So I'm trying to lead by example, meaning that when we make a decision and we make a plan of execution, that's the path we stay on. We just don't discuss ideas. Be like, yeah, that's a good idea.
Right.
It's like, what do we talk about? All right, let's document it. How
Absolutely.
do we how do we roll this out? Okay, looks like this, and we got to start here. Okay, cool. What's the timeline? And then that's what we
Absolutely.
do. So,
Absolutely.
if I can kill the doubt, yeah, I think
Wow.
I'll be able to pass something down to the kiddies.
All right.
I'm
What a
so proud of
great,
you. And
yes.
I'll tell you, your wife is amazing, I'm sure. Just getting you to go to school with gentle persuasion and, being that support and your daughters. And you got a daughter at UNC Chapel Hill. You're going to get an
UNC
award.
Chapel Hill,
Yeah,
which
we
we'll be
got, yeah,
driving down tonight,
yeah,
actually.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
She got a message from the board that she's doing 2 theses instead of one.
2 theses.
Wow, too.
And
Okay.
they want to talk to her like, is this something feasible and possible? But I'm like, wait a minute, you get reviewed because you have to do. I mean, you're doing 2.
Two.
Because
But
they
if
don't
you were doing
understand.
none,
We
I could
always
see.
was taught that you
Right.
got to do 200%. See, they don't know that.
No, they don't.
We already know that. That's our
And
mantra.
one last thing, can you let the mindsetters know how to reach you? If they need to reach you for consulting, just trying to figure out how to get in the food industry.
You can reach me at my Gmail, chefsaid@gmail.com.
Okay.
All the platforms, IG, Chef Said Black Sicilian, YouTube, Chef Said Black Sicilian. Where else? You could Google me, actually.
That's a lot.
If you Google me, if you Google me, I'll come up and you can see a lot of the things I do. But I'm very big on, I love social media. I'm always creating
Okay.
videos and doing that thing because it's an outlet for me.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. You were an
Thank
awesome
you. I appreciate the
guest.
time.
Yes, we appreciate you as well. Tune in next week, everyone. Our guest will be Rachel Barlow. She's an author, so make sure you tune in. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It should be in the link at Biz That Pays. Follow us on Facebook, Mind the Business That Pays, UIG. Biz That Pays, like he said, Google us, go to our website. We are all over the place, so make sure you check us out. Again, thank you to our awesome guests today, and don't never be too busy to mind the business that pays you.
And you got to do
Thank
that
you.
CEO check-in,
Good
check out before
night.
y'all leave.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
I
Thank
said,
you.
talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you. All right.
Thanks so
You got it.
much.
All right. My pleasure.
Have a good one.
You too.
Mind the business that pays you. Our people walk in power, we gon' blow up. No fear, no doubt, we gon' show up. Set your boundaries, shine bright, no fright. Unapologetic, we fight for what's right. Family keeper, that's a state of mind. Power protection all by design. Family keeper, we rise, we shine. Power protection all by design. Mind the business that pays